the outlook for gold, I think, from nearly anyone you talk to, for the next 4 years during Trump era economics, it's definitely going to be a lot of change and uncertainty. So it's going to lead to a stronger gold price, and I'm sure you've heard all the bullish reports about gold. So it's a great and copper as well. We feel will follow suit as well over the next few years. So it's an exciting time to be in that.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me today is Adavale Resources Executive Chairman and CEO, Alan Ritchie. Alan, very good to meet you. You're out with assays this week following reconnaissance work at your Parkes project. Before we dig into those, for viewers new to the story, tell us a bit about Adavale Resources and what you do.
Yeah, sure. Look, Adavale's a junior explorer, and around 3 months ago, we completed the Parkes project acquisition, and we're now committed gold and copper exploring this really exciting Tier 1 jurisdiction of the Lachlan Fold Belt.
And you've really hit the ground running since you made that acquisition back in January. Alan, tell us about some of the work you've done so far and what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive in such a short amount of time. The team, we've been out to site 7 times in the last 3 months. We've, achieved a maiden resource estimate, a JORC, that we announced not long back. We've, done extensive grid-based geochemical surveys. We've collected fresh assays to prove old historic rock chip assays that we had at the various prospects. We've done further reconnaissance further afield and found some exciting, like the recent 22 odd gram per ton rock chip that we just announced. So we've been moving very quickly. We've got great relationships with landholders. We're moving swiftly, but systematically. We're processing a lot of data as well. So there was the other recent announcement about the IP survey that we reprocessed of Meridian's IP survey from 2009. So we're doing a great deal of work, and it's quite a committed and active team that are really on the ground there. We actually, it's interesting, all the directors and the team have invested into Adavale. I mean, we own about 4% of the register. We take all our fees, very small, modest fee, in shares as well. So we're quite investor aligned and committed.
So, Alan, there are 4 licenses within the project. You mentioned the JORC, that's for the London Victoria gold mine that was announced recently. But you say Parkvale South is a prime target, it's a priority for the company. Tell us about the potential for Parkside South.
Well, yeah, it's good. So, I mean, like you referenced earlier, we did get a JORC on our London Victoria license. So that's one of the 4 licenses. And that is a bit of I guess, it's a brownfields opportunity. It'll be a medium-term plan as a path to production on London Victoria. But, we can do a few things on London Victoria, like, test some of the pit optimization and do some drilling there. But of course, like you've mentioned, there are 3 other licenses with an abundance of exploration targets. We are testing all the historic prospects, but just south of one of the prospects, which is Parkvale, just south of that, we were doing some studies of electromagnetics and saw what could potentially be, magnetite destruction, and we wanted to explore that. So we did some reconnaissance, grabbed bashed a few rocks, came out with some rock chips, sent them in for assays, and lo and behold, 22.2 gram per ton gold. That's some nice numbers, nearly an ounce, isn't it? So pretty exciting.
Alan, apart from your Parkes Gold project, you do have some other projects as well. So you've got uranium in South Australia, nickel sulfide in Tanzania. I suppose that gold and copper are the big story at the moment.
The outlook for gold, I think, from nearly anyone you talk to, for the next 4 years during Trump era economics, it's definitely going to be a lot of change and uncertainty. So it's going to lead to a stronger gold price, and I'm sure you've heard all the bullish reports about gold. So it's a great and copper as well. We feel will follow suit as well over the next few years. So it's an exciting time to be in that space, and in particularly as an Australian gold and copper explorer. or a producer. The Australian gold price is significant, sitting over $5,000 an ounce. So it is a great time to be in that. But yeah, we do love our nickel and uranium. It's not the most ideal time in the commodity price curve for those two products, although there's a bit of heat back into uranium recently, which is great to see. But look, we've got those assets, the nickel in Tanzania and the South Australian uranium on a very low holding cost. You know, we can assess the market, we can see what's happening, and it may, you know, at some future point, we'd certainly like to return to those two commodities. But it's all about gold and copper, and we're in the Lachlan Fold Belt now, and that's what we're going to be pursuing continuously.
Alan, so then in the short to medium term, what sort of news flow should your investors be expecting?
What we've done in the last 3 months, having been there, you know, 7 times and done a lot of also, you know, sort of studies outside of our site visits that we can publish and deliver a lot of news flow. We've got even more news flow coming. Obviously, we're looking to do some additional work post this maiden JORC, and hopefully, you know, get a resource extension. But before that, you know, we can get our exploration target announced. So there'll be a bit of drilling around London, Victoria, post that exploration target that we can go out and you know, extend our resource. Of course, there's our own maiden drilling on our other 3 licenses that we're looking to do to prove out some of you know, like say that Ashes and Miles prospect. That's quite interesting. Parkvale eventually. So we'll be, you know, getting out on the ground and doing some of that good drilling work as well, and building up to a nice phase 2 drilling program for the back end of the year. You know, we'll just have this continuous news flow.
Alan, I hope you'll keep us updated on your progress. Thank you very much for the introduction today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
That's Adavale Resources Executive Chairman and CEO, Alan Ritchie.